someone go on my thing?
On your what? You look like someone, and it's pissing me off because I don't know who you look like. You look like an actor, but I can't figure out who.
I look like an actor. Okay. That's something new.
Tasty, do you not think he looks like someone?
I'm too busy trying not to die in a fucking Formula car.
Fair play then.
Right, can someone go on my channel and see if there's a...
Send me a link to the channel because I'm too lazy.
What is channel?
Wait, hold up. Funk Monkey.
And there we go. It says loading. You need to replace that monkey with a sheeple.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we're gonna put some music on.
Oh, by the way, Tasty, you know the sheep I do in my hand?
Yeah.
It's still not gone because I done it in permanent marker. And I just realised the other day, right, I stripped my bed to clean, or sorry, this morning I stripped the bed to change my covers. And what I realised is that the way I lie in bed, I lie with my hand under my stomach.
Yeah.
And obviously since I was sweating like crazy, since it was a really hot night, the permanent marker had kind of rubbed off, and on my mattress, the actual mattress with no cover on it, the mattress just has an outline of a sheeple. Because the inks came off, so I still have a sheeple in my hand from 2 days ago. I don't know when it's gonna come off, it's not even faded yet, it's scary.
Fucking Formula 1 racing's my fucking jam, but it's fucking awkward.
Right, can someone send me a link for the live stream? I'll post it on the PS4 channel.
Post it in crew notifications, no point, just PS1. Also, Tasty, what did you do to the Discord?
I tried to organize it.
You failed miserably.
Oh,
Where the fuck is
I
my
see OBS on screen.
shit?
There we
Oh,
go.
damn it.
It's my really
Oh,
old
there
Skype
we go.
avatar.
There we go. Hold on. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. I'm bringing my hat. Hold on. Where's my hat? Where's my hat? There we go. Ah, wrapping the hat, of course. You gotta do that shit.
Oh my god, he has
What
a
is
6-star
everyone
hat.
doing?
Jesus.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream with two
Well.
special guests today. Introduce yourselves, please. Wait.
I is Tasty Builder.
And
And,
I'm Robbie, the Destroyer of Worlds.
Yeah, fuck off with that. And welcome to season 1, episode 4, probably the season finale for season 1. Today we're gonna be basically talking about the GTA Online madness that is currently going on, and I'm so fucking fed up with it. We will be taking as well live questions. So if you guys have questions, just wait till the end of the podcast, and then we'll start answering your questions, what you want to see in GTA Online.
I have a question. How do I turn you up on Skype?
I don't know. I think it's on call, I think. Probably. Really quiet. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Can we arrange?
What if I just turn up the
That.
volume?
There we go.
And
We
lower
might stop the music, so there we go. Shit. And go back to Skype. So, we're gonna basically give you guys the 3 subjects that we're gonna be talking about today. And of course, we're gonna be giving our thoughts and review of Smuggler's Run after a month of playing it, as well as the whole military concept in GTA. And last but not least, what do you want to see in GTA Online? So let's tackle the first one. Our thoughts and review after a month of playing Smuggler's Run. And I can sum it up in one word. Hell. Pretty
I would
much
have
hell.
said cancer, but okay.
Your summing up was help. I'm gonna.
My summary was hell. Like honestly.
Oh hell! I thought you said help.
No. Well, it depends. There are situations where you're like help, but then there were situations where you're like, it's a living hell.
Like, somebody please give me, like, a cock, basically. You know?
No.
If I had to sum it up, it'd be balance.
I wouldn't say it was balanced though, because
Exactly.
we had a wait. There we go. We had a lot of shit brought
Every
in the game.
GTA DLC, Rockstar neglects balance, and
They do.
this DLC was
they have a really weird tendency.
no different.
Well, I'm gonna basically summarize what I think of Smuggler's Run. The concept was nice. The whole military, I love military. Don't get me wrong, but the whole concept of the DLC, it is so cancerous. Like 6 million for a DLC. Well, it's gonna be a DLC now. A vehicle that was in the game from day one. What's up with that? That's nothing.
Oh, the laser?
Yeah, the laser.
The thing is that you can either spend 6 million on it, or you can take 2 minutes of your time and do a sick, like, jump to get into the military base, grab it, and then run with it. Like, it'll probably take you more time to actually try and get it than
have over 6 lasers on standby. So people
What
have
if you're not
kind
at the
of a
hangar
free
though?
laser.
I think it's like I would pay it just because I know air superiority reasons that it's a.
It is an air superior thing, but
if someone's in a Hydra, do I think it's a waste of money? No, because if someone's in a Hydra and I get into a laser, I don't know, I'll confidently beat them.
Yeah, of course you're gonna beat the Hydra with laser, because everyone goes for the laser. The Hydra now is outnumbered. It's done its job. There's better planes than it. Even the fucking Spitfire-looking thing. It's way faster, way better than it somehow, and it's a propeller plane. But I don't know. I'm just getting fed up with the whole military theme of GTA, and it shouldn't be that. Like GTA should be all around cars, if that makes sense.
I mean,
Even it's in the name.
I mean, yeah, you have a point there, but I think basically what Rockstar are trying to do right now is make GTA fun and basically accessible for everyone. We've had a lot of car themed, we literally have a thing about, bringing cars, like, and selling cars and shit. They've gave us, they haven't, they haven't really gave us what everyone is wanting when it comes to the kind of street racing thing, but they did give us Assault and RS and shit. And I think what they're trying to do now, there was an extreme lack of military DLCs up until basically
so they're basically getting rid of everything out of the way.
Yeah, basically what they're doing is just trying to balance shit out because they're like, right, we've heard the cries from the biker guys, we've gave the bikers what they want. I think right now Cockstar think that they've gave the car the car people what the car people want, even though they really haven't. So I think I think they've checked the car box and now they're moving on to the kind of sweaty hardcore people by adding lots of new military shit in. So
But that's another thing. Like Smugglers Run alone. No, not Smugglers Run. Go back to gun running. Gun running, I got a sense of feeling that these two DLCs back to back were basically embracing griefing. Like griefing is so annoying now. Like to the point where you need at least 3 MCs. One is selling, the 2 other are protecting. Because everyone's in an oppressor, everyone's in a jet. Like, there's a lot of people.
Oh.
What you call it? The webcam fell. There's a lot of people that are not playing GTA anymore for the simple reason it's becoming way too much of a military simulator, and there's nothing escaping it. Like, yeah, they give
It's not.
those
That's the
cute
thing. If
cars
it was a
here and there.
military simulator, I'd be totally grand with it. But that's the thing. It's an arcadey military experience, and we're talking like Call of Duty style, kind of bounce around the place and ludicrous weaponry and all this kind of. If it was a simulator,
I wouldn't even call it Call of Duty because Call of Duty is balanced. So
one of the issues is that Rockstar, they add in all these features, and then the features that they add in are usually forgotten about. Like, say, import exports. They added a whole bunch of cars in the meantime since that DLC, and yet it's the same roster of cars they have to collect, buy, and sell.
Yeah.
There's no new collections. There's no new vehicles added. It's not like what's called the Vision or Verizon or whatever, or Visione, or any like the Turismo Classic. It's the same roster of cars, and they haven't gone back and touched up on any of the features. Like, say, like the original crate business, that they haven't balanced out the earnings from that compared to some of the other stuff.
Yep, I mean the thing is,
bikers, like they haven't touched biker content, and it's the same missions that people do.
Haven't done nothing.
And I mean the thing is, coming from, obviously I kind of, whenever I see things, I think of it as a developer standpoint rather than a kind of like a player standpoint. And the thing that kind of pisses me off the most is that to change stuff like that, you'd literally just be adding the vehicle name to a list of cars that basically spawn. So it's not like it would be lots of hard work. It's just something that they just really can't be arsed doing. There's nothing stopping them doing that. It would add some quality and variety to the game, because trust me, I'm speaking of experience. Sitting for 12 hours doing the same thing over and over again gets boring when you have no variety.
It does.
So even and I know it sounds stupid, but even just having a cool car that I've not seen before in one of the things I need to go collect would probably make it a little bit more bearable than getting a T20 again, which is literally like Used to be a good
a
car.
car from
No,
export
the thing
or
is,
not, or
the
Oh,
thing
you
that
know.
you're mentioning is somehow the game. If we're talking about import export right now, the whole concept of it was a great concept. But when you're a public, when back in the solo sessions, can you explain to me how the enemy AI can figure out which car it is after you repainted it? If you really think about that, how does that make sense? Like if
think
the
about
car
a lot
was
of things.
blue and I
Your
painted
head
it
will
black.
hurt with it. GTA logic.
Yeah.
No, it's GTA logic. Like there's a bunch of GTA logic in these few DLCs, and I'm like, why? And I love
I have
GTA.
been
Don't get me
shot out of a
wrong.
moving vehicle after shooting out a pilot of a helicopter, and one of the gunners was spinning down with the aircraft and shot me out of the vehicle. That to me hurts my head.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah. But even the whole thing. Oh, by the way, my voice is becoming like feedback twice of you, Tasty,
Whoa,
for some odd reason.
hey, you can
Uh,
hear me echo or?
nah, as in my voice, their chat is telling me is there's some feedback, so it's probably from your mic.
I didn't. Yeah, I've not noticed any problems. Make sure that you've got your stream muted.
Let me see. It shouldn't. It shouldn't though. Yeah, the mic is turned off. I'm using the webcam mic. But going back to the subject I was talking about, like the way that I hate what they're doing is they're putting the cars, they're putting like the cool shit in the drip feed. And the one thing that pissed me off of this DLC is they showed a lot of new vehicles in the trailer, but then we found out that all the vehicles that they showed in that trailer is gonna be drip feed,
Mm.
which in my opinion pissed me off from day one because I'm expecting cool vehicles. I'm expecting massive like planes and shit.
Yeah. See, the thing that really bugs me, right, and it's to do with the drip feed thing. Basically, when it comes to the car scene, right, when they released the R33, the only
Yeah.
car that you would ever see at car meets was the R33, and they were all done exactly the same.
The same
Because
thing.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that pisses me off, right, is that Rockstar shouldn't drip feed things. I'm a big supporter of, and I've done this in my previous game development shit too. Whenever I'm gonna add a new like feature or concept, right, or for example, a car, like to just to keep going with the kind of context I'm going with right now, it's best to add 20 cars at one time so that everyone's kind of like got their own taste rather than just add one car at a time. Everyone basically uses that car until
Do you?
they flop over and die of boredom of using it and then go and grab another one. It's a
There was
repetitive and
one
it's a cancerous,
DLC
destructive cycle.
that's
Have you got a pasta?
once you're mentioning
Do you want
this.
a pint?
One second.
DLC that
Oh,
did
you're
this
alright,
perfectly is I'm going back in time. Um, the flight school. Do you remember the flight school? They brought out the Cockpit Classic, but they brought the coupe and they brought the convertible. But they balanced it out with the planes. So there were 3 planes and 2 cars, which wasn't that bad.
I mean, the thing that I would say the best example of what I was talking about would be the Lowriders DLC when that first came out. Because they released, was it 4? 3 or 4, I believe? I can't remember how
Wait,
many cars.
lowrider DLCs?
Yeah, the Lowrider. You know when the very first Lowrider DLC dropped?
They released with
Was it
that
4?
one, yeah, 4.
4.
You had
They
the
released
Buccaneer, the Faction, what else? The
the
Voodoo and the
the
Umbi.
yeah. So they released all of them. So basically, what it meant is that people weren't just bringing the one car. People were they couldn't really decide. So you had like at car meets, you had kind of you had 4 groups of people, and although 4 groups of people sounds like there's going to be lots of same cars, there really wasn't.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing they done. But now when they're just drip feeding the cars, like take it for example, Super Sundays meet. When was it? I don't know. Last week?
Friday night.
When they brought out the Rapid GT.
When they brought out the Rapid GT.
Oh,
Super
there
Sun
were
T.
Rapid GTs
There was
everywhere.
like literally 10 million of them just parked all over the place. It was like, come on, guys. And everyone just picked the same ones because although this is a car crew, people are still kind of retarded. So people just go for the most expensive option, thinking it's the best, when really it's not. So you're seeing cars with the exact same shit, and you find that with Rockstar, the most expensive option is the ugliest.
Oh, dude. Don't even mention about expensive. Like, the babushka.
Yeah, I mean, it
What
hurts.
is that shit?
It hurts. It actually hurts.
Like, I got the trade-off price, so I don't have to complain a lot. But 3 explosive rounds take down what they call the quote-unquote MOC of the sky. What? How?
Another thing that pisses me off, right, and this isn't specific to the Smuggler's Run. They've been doing this for a while, but you know that whole thing about do a mission and get it discounted?
Uh-huh.
That's bullshit, right? I hate when they do that because people like me, right?
They introduced that in import.
I've got school that I need to, balance, right? I've got a girlfriend, so I've got that I need to balance. I've got friends which I need to balance, right? I've got shit in the Discord, right? I spend a lot of my time just kind of monitoring shit on the Discord. I've got a 5M server that I'm setting up. I just don't have time to be basically playing the game 24/7. So I really enjoy just hopping in, buying whatever it is, playing with it for like a few days, and then going again. I don't have time to sit down and do the missions. Just
Yeah.
to take a million off.
No, I have to agree with that. Like even the whole concept. Okay. Even the whole concept of selling the product as a group, in my opinion, the game should give you the option, like, do you want to sell this on your own or you have a group set up? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in a solo session, right? And you're asking for like help. Of course, not all the people can help you all the time. So you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And in case, for example, the bunkers, if you have a full stock, you're still at an 87% chance of getting raided, and half of the cut, like, goes away. It's gone. It's just it was just sitting there. So I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about this DLC. I really wanted it to be good, but I don't know. The only good side of it, the Ford Escort Mark 1 was added to the game, and I'm happy
God.
about it.
The Mark 1, yes, that proved to be a pretty good thing that Rockstar. One thing by the way,
I was having a discussion
message
with that shit. People were like, "Oh, it's the new Warner." No, it isn't.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like, I don't understand why people kind of are grouping those two cars together. It's a completely different car. Like, it's annoying me. It annoys me when people group.
We reached 200 subs. What?
I subbed and somebody else subbed.
Oh,
Congratulations, buddy.
200 subs special.
Oh my god. Wow.
Right. Should we wrap up the first part of the podcast? What's your final thoughts on the DLC?
It's terrible, and I hope that they don't do anything like that again.
Tasty?
I think he's fixing his microphone, although I'm pretty sure he would say, let me quote Tasty,
Fix it, Mike.
yes, it's very nice that they've added military things like shoot people,
They should have
not
added
get shot
something to
back.
the Annihilator.
And Annihilator is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
There we go.
It is the best.
Yeah, what's next on the agenda?
Let's move on to the next thing. It is the whole military DLC concept. Well, should we talk about it, or do you think we talked like enough about it?
I mean, I think we kind of covered that.
Yeah. So let's move on to what DLC you think would make a lot of sense added in GTA Online.
I mean, I really need to answer that question.
Tuners.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
Has to be.
yeah, and I'm not even talking about tuners and outlaws here because, to be fairly honest with you, right, I get everyone loves it and shit. I don't really particularly like that because it kind of, okay, Tasty says restarting Skype. The Tuners and Outlaws thing to me kind of felt like Robin was just stroking his ego a wee bit. To me, I didn't particularly. I know that he's done a lot of work on it, but I didn't particularly like the concept of it. It would be nice to have lots of new cars and shit, but quite frankly, it's just unrealistic. I think that honestly, it would
But
be good.
let's be fair. Let's be fair. I'm not trying. I'm not going. I'm in the middle here. The fact that the trailer of that DLC concept had, in what I saw, it had a better response and more views
Than any of Rockstar's
than
ones.
when even Rockstar announces a DLC. That was saying something. I remember back when I was on 360, the only reason I got GTA was for the car meets that was happening. I used to watch a lot of Domestic Mago back in the day, so
Oh
he
god,
used to do a
domestic.
lot of he used to do a lot of car meets back in the day on 360 and PS3. I think no, it was just on 360. Forget I said that. And the whole stancing scene was like, whoa! And like back in the day, Forza didn't allow you to stance cars for some odd reason. You had to have like a jailbroken Xbox.
Yeah.
So to me, that was something for me to pick up the game. The game to me is another. I wouldn't say car simulator, but you can just go and drive your car. If someone pisses you off, you can blow them up. But that's what it is to me. That's why I see, in my opinion, a DLC with full-on cars, car heists, full-on fucking Fast and Furious should be added. Like, I already can think of the cars added. One of them would be the Supra. It has been requested so many times in the like previous DLCs. Bring the Supra, bring the Supra. And Rockstar are missing me. That's what's pissing me off. But they don't deliver.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
why?
and this brings it back to my previous point, right? If they're gonna do a DLC like that, the only thing I want is for them to release like 20 of them at one time, so there's actually variation, so that people are not just showing up with the same thing. I think it would be good to have like a tuners, DLC. Obviously, and I'm pretty sure when you invited me on here to speak about this, you knew that that was going to be my answer anyway. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong here. You knew, yeah, yeah. I mean, you knew I was going to say
to discuss about this shit.
exactly. And I mean, it's the thing is the reason you knew it, and the reason that basically everyone else knew it is because it's not a surprise. Because obviously, I'm in a car crew. I'd want car shit. So that's what I want, and that's what
Is my mic working, Robbie?
yeah.
Yes.
You see, adding new content sounds great in theory. What they actually need to do is revisit the entire game.
Yeah.
They
And
need to take a step back and be like, how did what we added affect what we already had? And that's one of the biggest issues. I don't necessarily think they need to add new cars per se as much as everyone else wants them to. So much as revisit what they've already added and add more customization to what we already have.
See, the thing that I'm really hoping, right, and I know everyone kind of throws that bit a lot, especially Mr. Boss for that one, but I'm just hoping that kind of Rockstar have learned from their mistakes with this game, and I would be happy if they use GTA 5 as basically as like survey, basically as they use it as a survey to see what people want, and make GTA 6 even better. Because honestly,
they
that's
said
what
it from day one, though. They said that GTA was a beta. GTA Online was a beta for a better version of it in GTA 6.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what we need. Basically, we need another game, but within that game, hopefully everything that, and honestly, I don't think for a minute that Rockstar are just going to completely ignore the Tuners and Outlaws trailer, because it got a lot of it got a lot of attention. A lot of people want it. There was a lot of signatures on that petition. And the fact that he's actually basically butt buddies with guys over at Rockstar, I don't think they'll just turn him down and say, no, that's not happening. I think people are basically flipping out saying, oh, we want that now. I think if everyone just waits, we'll get a much better version than basically Robin could ever have fought in that bald little head of his. it's like I think that they'll do magical things, but it's like yeah.
You think you overestimate Rockstar?
I probably do, to be fair honest. I probably
The way that Rockstar's done the last DLCs, it's going to be one, business focused, two, you can do it in an MC and in a CEO, and three, there's going to be some sort of buy and sell mechanic or restocking mechanic that's going to happen. So yeah, what you got to think of, like, how Rockstar has been doing things, and they've not changed around anything or flipped around anything. Like, that's what you got to think. When's the last time they added a lowrider with hydraulics?
I really don't want another lowrider DLC.
I mean,
That's the thing. The lowrider
got
DLC.
two DLCs of it.
In
back to
practice,
back.
the lowrider DLC, whether you like it or hate it, was the best DLC.
it was.
Because not also did they add
Huge
features.
customization.
That's something that they came back to and revisited.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at bikers,
completely. That's the thing that frustrates me the most. A perfect concept like Benny's, now it's just pushed away for military. And now, from what I'm hearing, the next in line is Navy, and that worries me. Like, if players have the access of having uh, an aircraft carrier, of course, is gonna have heat-seeking missiles, fucking overpowered air, like ground-to-air tanks, and that's where I think the community is gonna say enough.
I think an important fact though is that really Rockstar don't really give a shit what the community thinks. Like they give the appearance that they do, but they have some guy in a suit sitting in an office that's probably never even touched a video game console in his life making decisions on GTA 5. Like, you know. And the thing is that unfortunately, right now with the way that basically the YouTube scene is, the only people making videos that are big enough to get the attention of Rockstar are people that are sucking up to Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what we need is an outlaw, or somebody that's going to go against the flow to make videos to get the attention of Rockstar, to get them to stop doing what they're doing, because what they're doing is honestly tragic. It hurts.
I mean,
there's already YouTubers like that, and they get zero attention.
The only decent YouTuber right now, I'm gonna probably leave a link in the description below, is have you heard of CGH?
No.
He basically
he's all right.
Like, he does very good content. I highly recommend it. He goes in detail of all the stuff being released in DLC, and he doesn't care about the 10-minute mark bullshit. Like, bam, 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 that's it, out. Not a lot of people do that, and he doesn't get a lot of attention. And that's what we need. We need people that have a good reputation and not one of these scumbags that fucking do 24-hour fidget spinners, whatever.
See,
that's hell of impressive. You can do fidget spinner for 24 hours.
I'm actually hold on.
Honestly, are you gonna watch a live stream of someone spinning a fidget spinner for 24 hours?
If he can spin it for 24 hours, then yeah, I'd watch it.
Fidget Fin, boys. Fidget Fin.
I don't know about that though.
I mean, honestly, the best thing that could happen to basically the GTA community right now is for Mr. Boss, for the one to get knocked out, tied up in somebody's basement, somebody to overtake his YouTube channel, and just post the videos to get attention of Rockstar.
Like, that's the downside of it. Like, they have this audience. Use the audience in a good way though, where you can basically go to Rockstar, like, this is what the community wants. Can you provide this?
Sorry, lads.
They're of course gonna say no. That's the thing. So
I don't know how much you want the game being fixed over new content being added. I'd much prefer the game be fixed first.
Yeah, me too. I mean, personally, Honestly, I would much prefer they fix their shit and then start to release new features. I don't even care, to be honest, about cars and shit, because let's be honest, right? We've got 5M. If you want a car, right? The thing is, if everyone wants to play together, right? And if somebody wants a new car added, for example, with the 5M server that we're opening up for 6-star, this currently I'm developing right now, if somebody wants something added, just let me know and I'll add it. Like, really, and this is the thing, right? I'm hoping that 5M grabs the attention of Rockstar, as it has done in the past, once people start using it. Because I don't know if anyone's actually been keeping, an eye on 5M, but they've been seriously doing some updates to fix their shit. It actually works really well now. So, and I think what we need is something to scare Rockstar enough. Like, you know what happened with H1Z1 and Battlegrounds? Where H1Z1 were kind of ruling that, and then Battlegrounds came along and completely blew them out of the water. We don't need that, but we need basically a threat of that, so that Rockstar actually fix their shit and get their shit.
That's the thing, though. It happened, and then Rockstar puts a lawsuit out.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is they're gonna let 5M grow a little bit, and then crush it with a lawsuit. And nobody's gonna stand against it because who's gonna go against Take-Two?
Exactly.
No one, of course. Like, even I won't. But and I'm a like someone that is this compared to someone that has 1 million subscribers and all that. But
I mean, I'm thick as shit, and I wouldn't even go up against them.
no. The only downside that I see of that, it did with this DLC. Okay, let's say they fix shit, right? It would take them a long ass time. It took them when was Heist released?
God, that would have been a second year
right?
of school, so
something 2015. Let's say that when Heist was released and the Savage wasn't released. That thing was so
balanced,
so underpowered, like unarmored. It wasn't even like funny. God. It wasn't even armored. It took them 3 years to fix that, and now
I mean, look at the Rhino tank now. The Rhino tank dies in 3 rockets, and yet there's the Insurgent that takes what, like 9?
I think it takes 5.
Yeah. So, no, does it take 5?
I believe that the one without a gun on it. The one without a gun on it takes 5.
But yeah, I guess we basically have to find out what they want to do now. I mean, that in a like thinking in a businessman wise thing, they're never gonna go back and just focus on releasing new content until like GTA 6 arrives.
They want to keep. That's the thing, though. They've no plans for the longevity of Grand Theft Auto in terms of health wise, because what they're doing is they're adding content to try and bring players in and back just enough to buy shark cards, because had they fixed the game, it might have a more consistent player base. And I prefer they fix the game rather than 5M being the solution, because I'm thinking of my PlayStation and Xbox bros who don't have access to 5M.
Oh, that would be.
Well, I'd say
5M to the PS4.
That would be a lot.
But like, can you imagine?
It's not an option because 5M only affects the smallest number of players, and that's on PC.
Well, I'll just say this. The way that 5M installs, it's completely easy. Like, you don't need to change any files or whatever. It's like the program is doing everything for you. I can't see why they can't introduce something like it. I mean, Ark did it. But of course, Ark, you have to sacrifice a fucking PS4 as a fucking server, and you have another one to play with. So, I mean, if I had a PS4 laying out somewhere, I would have used it to have a 5M server for the PS4. Why not?
The other thing with 5M though is that it's extremely complicated to set up, and there's basically no way of making it automated. So
no headless clients on it or anything, no.
No.
Um, so I think we pretty much covered everything. So we're gonna be moving on to the questions that you guys have on the stream. And no fighting, please.
Have you actually gathered a list of questions over the stream?
No, because there was a lot of fighting in chat. Uh, so guys, put your questions down below. Let's go. What do you have for the crew to be talking about?
Is this just for anything, or is this specifically what we've talked about?
Um, pretty
Just to
much everything
clarify.
that we talked about, or even like whatever they wanna see probably in GTA.
Cool.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Don't fail me now.
If no one's gonna fire up any questions, what would your thoughts be on them adding a balance feature? Like if anybody's ever played Rainbow Six Vegas 2, they had a ban list, and where you could ban certain items from a session.
Yeah, that would be
right.
cool.
Wait, hold on. We have two questions. From first of all, from Tristan Lopez. What is the next DLC you want to see? As me and Ron
Do you mind
said,
if I just answer a question real quick that came before that you skipped over?
which one is
So
it?
Waddles HD said, "Why are you guys still salty at me?" And I just
No,
want to
we're not.
reply with that one and saying you're a faggot. Anyway, continue.
Right. Okay. So moving on. Well, for me, DLC, I would want to see a full-on tuner DLC, no bullshit, just full-on, just cars, no planes, no fucking, what else? No, like boats, but with a variety. Like you have tuners, muscle cars, because muscle cars are also a big thing that needs to be in GTA.
Yeah.
Some off-roading vehicles. When was the last we got an off-road vehicle?
Was it the trophy truck?
No, the last DLC, the gun running.
No.
Dude buggies.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Wrecked. Wrecked.
Right.
Tasty.
Just
Thanks
on
for
the
that one.
iPhone
You
said,
just
is the buzzard better than the Annihilator? Real question here, boys.
No.
Is it a real question? The buzzard is very good for people who haven't got the time or dedication to learn how to use guns on helicopters, but it's a good way to gain a kind of confidence and enthusiasm with flying, because even if you can't aim the guns, at least then you can kind of still get kills with the missiles and try and build up that confidence in the air to eventually move on to the guns. But once you kind of take off the stabilizers from helicopter flying, you're never going to need rockets ever again. Missiles, rockets, whatever you want to call them, you're never going to need them. So at that point, then you're just gonna fly the Annihilator just for one, to show people that you can use guns, and two, because the guns are actually superior. You have more guns, and the guns are stronger.
All right.
So yeah.
So, Ninja said, "Do you think downforce will be changed again?" I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like,
I can almost guarantee it.
What? You think that they would change it again?
Rockstar likes to fuck with things, to fuck with people.
I mean, that's true, Tasty. That is exactly what's going to happen.
It's now overpowered as fuck with some certain vehicles, right?
Well, the only reason Broffy was on about that was because the cars now have access to traction modifiers and downforce modifiers. And so long as you don't put the first option spoiler on a vehicle, you put on some like custom level of spoiler, you'll get traction benefits and the downforce benefits. I think Rockstar will probably change the downforce just to make Broffy their video to try and bring people kind of, oh, GTA is still here. They'll change the downforce modifier by like minus 0.2 or something, just to make Broffy make another.
Who would hate that?
Broffy,
because he would have to do the shit all over again and update the entire list. So you guys think that they would touch the whole what you call it, downforce again?
Literally
no.
just to make Bruffy make another video, yes.
All right, all right.
In fact, if
So-
anyone in chat wants actually to go, put money in this with me, I will actually put £10 on the fact that within the next year they'll change it.
Ooh, okay, okay then. We'll see. We'll see. So we're gonna combine these two questions together. So best car in GTA, in our opinion, and Wobbles asked, what car would you like to see the most? Well, to me, best car in the game has to be the Escort. I'm a massive fan of the Escort.
That's
Yep.
why you're wrong, kiddo. The best car in the game is the
It's the
Annihilator.
Annihilator.
It's
Okay.
got 16,000 rounds per minute.
And technically, it does still have 4 wheels.
Car I would love to see. It's between two cars, classic and a modern. One of them is, of course, a classic Austin Mini, but like with the rally fog lights and all that.
Oh yeah.
Or even a new Koenigsegg. Give me a new Koenigsegg.
No.
Like they have
No.
this fetish for Lamborghini and Ferrari. I'm just saying. Either a Mini or a Koenigsegg.
I would
That's
kind of
what I'm
agree with that because they make a whole manufacturer for one vehicle and never do anything with it. This kind of goes back to the whole Rockstar likes to never go back and brush things up. They have, what's it, Overflood for Koenigsegg. They
Overclocked,
have
the Entity. And the Entity, back in the day, it was such a good car.
they have
But
like
now
the
it's
Weenie,
like,
the Weenie Izzy. Like they never touched Weenie again. That's just a company gone like a fart in the wind.
yeah.
What's the one that makes the Prairie? The Balkan or something? The
Yeah.
Balkan?
You know what doesn't make sense if you're talking about that? When they introduced the Pagani Huayra, they put it under Pagasi, which Pagasi is Lamborghini. But back to it, they introduced a new company with the T20.
What was the new company with the T20 again?
What? Project.
Trojan, yeah.
So it was.
Project was a new company. It was a new invented company for
Mm.
GTA 5. So when I saw that, I'm like, why didn't the Osiris get its own company? Why does it have to be a Pegasi vehicle? One is a hypercar and the other one's a supercar. That's it. And if you compare the cars next to each other, they're not even the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I give up sometimes on Rockstar, but
This is the thing that I would just prefer Rockstar goes back and add continuity, balance, and game fixes over an entire new DLC. I prefer they fix what they have before they start adding more content into the game. That'd be my dream because like
Miko just said a good point. Even there's never been an Uber Mach vehicle. Yeah, he's right. There's never been a new BMW, quote unquote.
Well, like the Centeno series and things like that.
The Sentinel, what are there? The Oracle.
I mean, we haven't had a Balkan since the game came out. I want my Hyundai i30 or my Genesis or something, you know?
No.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a Hyundai Genesis.
I have a Hyundai and I hate Hyundai.
You know what they need to add is an i20 or 5 class rally car into the game, in the compacts class.
But
I mean, what I have to say though, just kind of bring it back to that question. I think, the number one car I would like to see would be definitely a classic Mini. I thought they would have added a classic Mini with the last DLC because like that was kind of the theme they were going for. It was like British kind of.
yeah, and not to mention even like cars that don't even fit in the DLC.
Yeah, it would either be that. It's between three for me, right? It would either be a Triumph Spitfire, and that's me being a wee bit, a wee bit biased there. or a Ford Capri, or a Mini.
Ooh.
I think the Ford Capri would fit nicely because that's kind of the working man's car, and that's kind of what we're aiming at right now. So, you know,
Definitely some more lower end cars is what the game needs.
yeah.
Not over 1 million.
And going back on the whole, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but Rockstar adding vehicles into the game and doing nothing with them. You never see them in traffic, any of the new vehicles, ever. You never see them parked.
Oh, so
Exactly.
you're like putting in the car model in traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, back with the 5M, right? I got sick and tired of that, and I changed that. It took me an hour to program it in, but
If you
it was
think
literally
about it, it is possible. Because with next generation, they did put previous DLC cars. If you go next to is it the dock area? Like cars like the Dukes, the Panto, the Huntley, the Warner, like 4 of those cars, I know for a fact they spawn, and you can't store them. So you can still drive them, but you can't store them.
I mean, the Dukes
So-
has always been in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
Rockstar.
honestly, the thing is, right, the thing with that is that, you know, they're literally, if you, I don't know if anyone ever gets interested in developer shit, right, but if you look in the game files, there literally is a file, right, and it has a list, right, of code name, or sorry, class names for the different cars, right. All you need to do to add the car to traffic is just put in its code name, make an extra line, bracket, put it in, you know, all the variations and shit you want of it, right? It's piss easy. You can do it in 5 minutes. It would take them literally. Hell, they wouldn't even have to pay minimum wage for 1 hour, like, to get somebody to fix that. So it's bullshit. It just shows you that they just don't particularly care. Also, somebody else, just while I'm on a wee bit of a rant here, SR Rogue said, no, sorry, it wasn't. It was Elo Fam said, and would you like animals in online? No, because animals in this game are literally cancer, right? I literally when I was making the 5M server for 6-star, which I'm still doing right now, I had to go in and literally find the setting and turn off animals because you could be flying up the motorway, right, at like 140 mile an hour in a customized car. Next thing, a deer decides to jump out on you and splat. That's you. Your car blows up because guess what? Deers are pretty heavy, especially when you're going 150 mile an hour.
Yo, but you did skip a good question from Tristan Lopez. If you had the chance to make a one weapon less OP, which one would it be? Homing launcher.
Actually, yeah, no.
Just rocket launchers, explosives.
Rocket
I'm gonna
launcher,
cheat.
anything
I'm gonna
that-
cheat and
that
say
has
all
a
explosives.
fucking Rocket has to be fixed. Like
All explosives needs to be fixed.
I can't stand. You're in a gunfight, right? You're in a gunfight. People going like this, fucking aiming their gun like this, and then oh shit, I'm gonna kill me. What am I gonna do? Aim the rocket launcher to the ground. Like, why? Like I hate that shit. Like
that's literally how fights are. It's like first person side strafes and then easy way out and or rocket launcher to the ground. Or just throw sticky bombs in front of yourself. The way the explosives are handled in this game are done very poorly for its predecessor because it's just really bad. Really bad.
The thing is this. Like I don't understand who came up with the idea to introduce a weapon like the homing launcher, and if you're a player, you just started, you have the weapon since day one. That thing is so OP, and when someone is lagging, do you know how frustrating it is to have someone with a homing launcher and is laggy, like to the point where he's here, all of a sudden he's all the way here. That is annoying. Like, legit annoying. So for me, homing launcher, for sure. Most definitely.
All explosives, jets, sticky bombs. It's all bad. All explosives are bad.
But wait, are you considering as well the explosive ammo? Well,
Oh yeah,
The ones that you get on the jets, not the ones that you get on the sniper.
All explosives are bad.
Right. It doesn't look like we have any more questions.
It's something about a track.
Tesla would be also a good thing to see in the GTA. I'm surprised they haven't added that. And they added Remac Concept. Remac Concept 1, and it's not even on the road yet. Well, even the Valkyrie. And the Visione. And the X80. They've been adding a lot of concept cars, have they?
Yeah. They've been adding a lot of weird shit like the Shitaru, the Oppressor, the Vigilante. They've been adding just weird shit into the game.
Right. Pod just said, with Rockstar adding new age cars to classes. Sorry, my bad. Like the Turismo Classic and Sports Classic, Wagner and Super. What do you think that will be? Well, no. Fuck, I'm drunk. What do you think that will get a new age of sport from the RH8?
I don't think we will.
I really hope not that far. Like,
I mean, although it would be nice, I just don't think we will.
what? You don't think we're gonna get a new sports car?
I think we will, but I don't think it's gonna be able to dethrone RH8. Because that thing's a monster.
There's one car I think they mentioned in the chat as well. If they introduce this car, they will make it OP for the simple reason for the fanboys. And that would be the Supra.
I want an RX-7.
They would make it grippy as fuck, fast as like a fucking Comet Retro when it stands. But yeah, in my opinion, a new sports car has to be at like even a small company sports car like what car I saw recently. No, that's the F-Type. F-Type we already have in the game. Let's say no, not the Bocce, not even Ferrari. Let's go with the Supra since we're mentioning the Supra. It at least would have shown a bit of variety because lately we're just getting sports classics or even a super. So I don't know. Hopefully there's something in the nearby future where we have a good super car. Jesus, sports car. So what
honestly I think
car would you like to see?
Old muscle car?
Mm-hmm.
I would literally. No, we've already got that. We've got the Vajero.
But I'm talking about the one with the, like. Fuck. What year is it? The one where the headlights are behind the grill. Or is it the same one?
Honestly, I don't know.
Can we get more Corvettes, please? Please.
Yeah. Honestly,
I was gonna mention the Dodge Challenger, like the old Dodge Challenger, or even a Barracuda.
At this point in time, I would give a left testicle for some sort of gasser. Literally, right? I know that we've got the Tornado, right? They wouldn't even need to add anything else, right? Because they've already got the Lowrider Tornado. Just give us a sentence on Lowrider, right? You know how you've got the Donk for the faction? Give us another upgrade option for the Tornado and just turn it into a gasser.
I don't know, but
in fact,
would you want them to go back on a car like a faction? Like, didn't you see the community how they reacted when they used the Tampa 3 times? We have a normal one, the quote unquote drift one, and we have a weaponized one. And everyone like, oh, we got sick of Tampa. Would you really want them to go back on like a car?
All I want, right? I'm not even saying remodel. I'm just saying add another variation of it. That's all I want, to be fair honest. I just want a gasser. I don't even care. Hell, give us a British car. Give us a 62 console, right? I don't even care. Just give us a gas.
Or even an LFA. Is there an LFA in the game?
Not sure. Unfortunately, for about 10 minutes, I'm gonna need to go because I need to do something.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get our last question for this podcast, guys. So one more question, and we'll be heading off. If you guys like the new format, this is basically going to be kind of the season finale. So we're going to be starting season 2 in a month. So
In a month, can we not do these more, please?
I think these should be a week.
Okay.
Like, I would be down for coming on here.
More than once in a month. Leave in the comment section down below, or even message me on Discord, or even leave it as a like.
Leave links to Discord.
Yes, I will be leaving a link to Discord as well, so you guys can join over there.
Everyone but Walls can join.
Call me iPod. Drift Battlemate. Anytime.
Oh god, I wouldn't say that back.
Alright, so Topaz, not Topaz, Jesus Christ. Lopez said, what's the next weapon would you like to see?
Oh,
Scar.
that's a tough one. Even though I know it would kill the game because of how the marksman rifle works, probably the SVD Dragunov. Although I think what they need to do is they just need to add an ability to reskin the weapons. I think that would be even better if you could reskin a marksman rifle like a Scar H or something. Or if you could just get like an AK and remodel it as say
So you're saying
the Leo or something.
2 version of the
like Mark II, but just changes the aesthetics of it. I think that would be pretty much all we need to change the aesthetic of a weapon to look like another weapon.
What I want, and I want it really, really badly, is you know how in the film Ned's where like the guy tapes knives to his hands. I want like gloves or sack gloves. I just want an option where we can tape knives to our hands and just run about the place shirtless. If they give me that, I'll be happy.
It should give you a debuff when you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Saints Row 3. Yeah, fuck Saints Row 3 though. Okay, so that was our last few questions. Thank you very much for Builder and also Robbie for being in this podcast. The other guys will be here, guys, so of course we had to bring the guests in, So if you like this new format, leave a like and also comment down below. We might even be putting the podcasts as live streamed podcasts. So with that out of the way, I'm Funk Monkey.
Slán lat agus gur míle mai agus.
Je ne comprends pas. S'il vous plaît. Larumpy pumpy.
Alright. Okay, whatever they said. So I'm Funk Monkey, that's Builder, and that's Robbie. Thank you very much for watching, and peace. Now how do you turn off this thing? Right, there we go. See you later, guys.